All right, hello, hi everybody. Welcome to another episode of Burning Crowns. I'm Eric, your game master. We are playing One Person Down today because it's Mother's Day, and if you haven't already, text your mom, say Happy Mother's Day at least. If that's something that you're into. So, AP Gaming, the realist
back.
person on our show.
We were here last year for the Sprawl game with Harper, Lumpkin, Kobold, and you on Mother's Day. It's been a long time, Eric. It's been an entire year. We were talking last night when it was like 4 a.m. my time, and I was like, I don't know why I'm still awake. And you said not enough people appreciate my role-playing of Count Ronald Swan. And I contest that. People bring it to me privately. But if you, audience, feel that I have not been praised enough, you can praise me at AP Gaming Real on Twitter. And let me know how you feel about my roleplay of Count Ronald Swan. Or if you're on YouTube, just leave a comment in the YouTube message box below.
To paraphrase Jim Sterling, I'm not saying I'm perfect. That is for you to say about me.
Bless him up. All right, it's just linked to your Twitter. Anyways, Daniel.
Hi everyone, Daniel here.
Nirin.
Yeah, what's up? Been having a good time, chilling. Haven't been here for a Sprawl game with Lumpkin and Kobold and... Jeez, that sounds like an awesome game.
Harper.
Yeah, it's
Harper.
Harper too.
John destroyed it.
Yeah.
You did?
Oh, yeah.
No, I need to go back to the archive and watch that. That sounds like...
you're missing out. There are some terrible rolls. Turns out I'm the only person at that table who can roll dice worth a damn.
Well, that's because you're good at role-playing, AP. That's obviously how that works.
Even Adam was dropping some bombs, and I was like, what is going on here, guys?
Sounds delightful.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I would say, like, if you are not satisfied with the way I play Mason, but of course you are.
Well, what else are you up to, man? Don't you do some stuff?
Oh.
Have you started a new show?
I have not. I have started a new game that is not a show, but it might be in the future. So I started playing Edge of the Empire, which is an awesome game. It, I mean, when I play it, I feel like some of the things in there could have been done better. There are some mechanics that feel underused. Where I'm like, if you had sat down and committed just a bit more to the obligation mechanic, and like how that would tie into the game, you could have come up with something more interesting than give a -1 penalty or whatever, right? But aside from that, the game really does the quick flowing storied role-playing game and intermixing it with the die results really well. So that's hilarious, and we're learning it pretty quickly.
Cool. So. I'm very, very interested in that system because Star Wars to me has a mouse guardy like flow where you're like obstacle to failing forward into next obstacle, like always moving, and it's fast. It's like it's faster paced than like most regular role-playing games. And so
I don't know them. I don't know that you know this, but I have a theory that Luke Skywalker is a burning wheel character.
Yeah.
Nope.
You mentioned that a long time ago.
In a galaxy far, far away.
Yeah. So cool. All right, well, let's get ready to play some Burning Wheel. Burning Wheel is a game by Luke Crane. It's about character-driven role-playing. That's kind of the easiest way to say it, but also the least explanative. But hey, we have about 22 episodes now of this show, to get a better idea of what's going on. So, yeah. Okay. Well, let's get ready to start. As always, we're going to review our characters and what their beliefs are for today's session. So, how about we start taking it away? We got two people. We'll probably get all our beliefs in today with scenes. Mason, how about you start, my friend?
All right. So, for my first belief, I have, for a worthy ruler to sit upon the dragon scale throne, I must discover the secret of the vanishing. I will find out why Yvonne covered up the death of the last of Coral's dragons.
Mm-hmm.
My second belief reads... I need to fix it up here. My second belief reads, there is yet enough fire in the hearts of men to steer a course over dark seas. The gods have seen my play and have taken the raven from me. I will honor his courage by following his instructions and obtain that which even the gods fear. Belief 3. As the last member of the Nethesian Star, I stand responsible where they no longer can. And my instincts are always accept a worthy task, always lash out before backing down, and always draw maps of new places I go.
Cool. I like your second belief a lot.
Yeah, well, you know, when life gives you lemons, squeeze them back into the eyes of life.
Yes, that's how I've been told. All right, Count Ron Swan, what's up?
I'm just really worried about this squeezing lemons into people's eyes and shit. It's a little worried about that. Uh-oh. I'm typing things and Dragoon Musketeers. All right, I'm done holding this up. Here we go. I have not changed my beliefs at all. They are exactly the same as last week. The culminations of events of my life have led to this moment. The chosen one of Abadar receives a holy charter to start a new empire. I must receive this before my court sabotages the effort. It is time to begin the machine of industry that will guide our new country. I will create a business that will fund the area, consisting of a logistics company to move goods and their guardians. This colonization effort will not fail for lack of funding or supply. I'm the chosen one of Abadar, and it is time my countrymen see it so. The pro-Regarvian house meeting is the perfect time to remind my peers of their obligation to the church. I am responsible to the people. I'm actually thinking about switching that one up in the next couple of weeks.
That's your noblesse oblige.
Yeah. I have a bunch of options as to what I can take with that, but most of them are really bad, and some of them are okay.
Okay.
Some of them are just like, I can beat down any peasant I want because I'm a noble.
I mean, that is certainly true of some places in the world, even to this day. So, you know.
Yeah, that is true. All right, so we should probably talk about a little bit about what happened at the end of last session.
Maybe.
I was on fire.
You were literally on fire. So we
I killed a bad man.
We have to resolve that. So thank goodness to our players on here today's healing checks. You're looking at 30 days worth of sitting in a bed doing nothing. Basically just recuperating. So during that time, so we're going to basically fast forward a month. So during that time, Mason, I believe you were actually meeting with somebody.
Yep. So I meet with two people essentially in this. The first thing I do is, after spending a night burying the raven, lamenting his loss, and deciding that I'm going to find whatever thing he was talking about so I can point it at the gods and shout, "Get away from me!" if they ever try that shit again. I go to Count Swan and I cuss him out. I go full aggro and just like shout at him.
Swan isn't seeing visitors until he has all of his dice pool back.
Screw you. Yes, you are.
I mean,
so yeah, that's just on like literally on the following day.
Order?
I think that I talked to Aurelius about this, like that no one's going to see him during the time where he's injured.
Is there a risk? Do you see a potential? I mean, I kind of see a potential problem, but it's more like you being mad at Mason is the problem, and that's kind of like I don't
have a reason to be mad at Mason.
So basically, what I'm trying to think is like I don't think this is necessarily a role. This is in role territory because the outcomes and chances of failure are kind of incumbent on how you take it. And what I'm saying is I feel like that's in your domain as a player. So I think it will be up to you to elect if there needs to be like a convince roll or something like that to let Mason jump in if that's a standing order. Otherwise, it could just happen. Otherwise, maybe you can say there's no chance, and that could be even worse.
How strongly do you want to visit the still smoldering wreckage that is Count Swan?
Immediately the
Quite
following
smoldering.
Okay.
Immediately the following morning. That's
right.
Like it's gonna happen. I'm going to scare the life out of the people you have standing guards if I have to. Heck, I'm going to mobilize your own army against them if I have to.
I think Zydomir is the one that was agreed to stand guard in our fiction.
Because I need to get in there and shout at you before I kill something.
Okay.
So, here's the thing. Yeah, so oh boy, Sir Zydomir is really upset about this, right? And what you gave him orders to no visitors, right?
So I haven't talked to Zydomir yet.
Because you're
I
angry.
can imagine-
Aurelius, I believe Aurelius said, I mean, not Aurelius, but Sam said that Zydomir was basically going to sit outside and guard me until I was ready to talk to
Sure.
him.
Okay, sure. So basically, like the King's Guard in front of the bedchamber kind of thing.
Yeah,
Right,
Yeah.
right.
except
Okay.
he's more Jaime Lannister than a real Kingsguard.
Yeah. So he's standing there when Mason shows up, and he says, you don't no not anymore. Stay there.
Get out of my way. I need to see him. You don't want to be here.
You know I can't let you do that.
You know you can't stop me either. That was yesterday, by the way. Just to
his hand. I know his hands like on the hilt of the sword, right? When he's telling you that, to be like,
think about it.
I'm still going to have to.
When he told you to bar anyone access, he did not mean his closest advisors. And he trusts you enough to realize that on your own.
Not after last night. I don't know if that's. I don't know if that's true. I feel like this might actually be a persuade.
All right, let's do it.
You're trying to persuade him that is the perspective, that is the intention behind.
Yeah.
Sulius's orders, because that's very reasonable, actually. And for what it's worth, you technically aren't like kicked out of the group or anything like that. So
Nope. All is well in the world.
yeah. So I think this is going to be persuade. That's I think 3.
All right. I am gonna leverage. Let's see. Because I really want to get at Swan, so I think I just open up on him. Like I open up on Zydomir. I don't know that we're gonna like have a long tirade of the things I tell him, but if you want me to tell you how I incorporate something, I will. I want to leverage soldier-wise to get him out of the way. I want to leverage rule of law because you're not allowed to stand in my path. I want to leverage.
Oh, I don't know about rule of law.
Rule of law, yeah, no.
Not allowed to stand in your path?
Yeah, I'm like so the way I'm going to do that is I'm basically gonna like drown him in legalese. I'm gonna say, besides, you have no right to stand there in front of me. Remember, I am your superior in every way and aspect.
Pretty sure
I rule all armed men under Swan's command by his own orders. So unless you want to disarm and disrobe right here, you obey me. So get out of my way. That is how I will fork in rule of law.
Okay. I mean, I would like to work in that based on that. Technically, that would. I mean, that's like. Maybe that's more soldiering.
Soldiering is like marching.
Oh, that's a good point. But I'm thinking in terms of soldier hierarchy. Yeah. Okay. Fine. Fine.
All right. I mean, I could shift to war-wise if you would feel like that's more appropriate.
No.
Okay.
Yeah, I think he swallows. There's a lump in his throat when you say you order him to disarm and disrobe.
Cool. So I guess I'll just do this. I can like jockey all day for more, but I don't wanna.
Yeah. Do you have command?
I don't. Not yet.
Oh, okay.
Seems a critical oversight for a general, but okay.
No.
So-
I'm a general. I am not a like fucking like I'm not a sergeant. I don't do command.
You're not a general.
I'm a general officially.
I'm the general because I'm the one that's going to have to be out there physically leading the men.
You know what? Screw it. I'm also going to throw in astrology.
Let's just say that when we have the Burning Crowns musical, Here Comes the General is for Count Swan.
Nice. Okay, so I'm also going to throw in astrology, and I'm going to take my time because I'm not leaving, right? So he's like, no, you have to go, and I just like keep pounding. So yeah, swing. Obstacle 3.
Yeah, and the consequence of failure here is not anything. I think you get shut out.
All right. So he shuts me out.
Wait,
no sixes in there.
Okay. Yep. Okay. So
yeah, I go through him. That is my escalation of this conflict.
He's like, I can't. So I think Sir Zidimir has to say that you might be his commanding officer, but we both are ruled by Swan, and my orders are explicitly no one visits him.
You know what? I know exactly how to do this. So I think Saitami has like proven to me enough that he is a competent person, like a great warrior, and I don't believe that I can actually just like. I don't think I can bum rush him.
No, here's the answer. Here's the answer. He says, "Wait right here," and he's gonna go talk to Swan.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
So like you don't get what you want, right? But if he sees that the next thing is escalating, so he doesn't, right?
Good.
So he's gonna go see Count Swan, who's in the state, right?
For what it's worth, like I'm saying this in like a normal conversational tone so you can understand what I'm saying, but Mason is fuming.
Oh yeah.
So Swan is talking to one of his bards and taking down the story of tonight, which was last night. And he's like, yes. So the Raven is a traitor and a heretic. He used dark magical fire. Make sure to emphasize that part. And we found in his possession several belongings that indicate that he's the chosen one of Rovagug, the hated and despised. And that by ridding our land of this traitor, we have in fact helped save young Lord Manning from being corrupted. Make sure that part is very bold. Say it emphatically. Lord Manning is prevented from being corrupted by this man. Zidimir, what are you doing in here?
Sorry, your radiance. It's just that there's someone here to see you, and they're not taking no for an answer. It's
the queen then.
Damn right it is.
I wish your radiance, but it is your general.
I am as disappointed with her as I am with you, but I will speak with her. And I gesture to the bard. Leave us. Get that out into the streets immediately.
Yeah. All right. And okay. So Sir Zidimir and the bards leave. But as they're leaving, I think there's a tense moment of just Sir Zidimir standing there in front of the door, still like he's getting ready to close the door, right, Mason, and go back to the guard duty thing.
Mm-hmm.
But then he steps out of the way and keeps it open, right? And lets you in. But,
I stride past him like the fucking Ice Queen.
Yeah, and he's pretty mad at you too.
Yeah.
Without saying anything.
I walk close to him. We see little lightning appear between us. Fuck this guy. Get out of my way, scrub.
He closes the door. Here's something that I'm not sure. Would Zidimir stay in the room for your protection, Count Swan?
I mean,
I think you would assume so.
I'm upset with him. And
so I think he would probably follow suit into the room as well, just to make sure nothing happens. And he would chop off your hands the moment you try to cast something.
So I think the way we see this is basically we see the shot of outside the room looking at the door. We see the bard leave. We see Zidimir come out, hold the door open. Mason and him exchange looks. Mason walks past. He walks in. We see the door fall shut. And then there's the muted sound of Mason just screaming her head off. Just yelling at the top of her lungs at Swan.
I think if you're screaming at him, I'm not sure if Count Ronald is saying anything yet, but Sir Zidimir will absolutely step in and be this is our count. You will address him with respect. You will keep your voice down and that kind of stuff as you're recovering.
Yeah.
He needs peace for healing. kind of
That
thing.
sort of stuff is rewarded with an immediate, like, 180-degree heel turn, like, open palm slap to the face, and a shut up! And then I turn around and I keep, like, shouting at Swan. And it's all about, like, you murdered him! You murdered my friend! Like, how could you do that? And so on. How could you do that? How could you be so stupid? I could have killed you! How dare you put me in that position? And I just, like, fucking unload on him. Every drop of vitriol I have left over from last night goes into a hate barrage.
I mean, well, Sir Zaidemir's going to, like, start dragging you away then, because clearly you don't want to talk, and Count Ronald's weak. And unless he says something, then it's
Count
like
Ronald
power verse.
Hears you say that you could have killed him, and Ronald's just like, how is someone that spent half the evening hanging off a balcony going to kill me?
What do you mean?
Reason?
You almost murdered yourself jumping through that spellfire.
Why
ignoramus.
Did you counter that spellfire?
Why didn't I counter it?
This is dark magic.
You imbecile! You lackwit! You incredible ignoramus! That was my fire!
And I think Swan's attitude is rapidly changing as that happens.
What? Do you believe? Did you believe the Raven was spitting fire at you? The Raven had no such ability. He was a mercenary, not a master. And you, I say, spinning on my heels, poking a finger into the chest of Zaidomir. You stay back, because you and I are not speaking. And I keep shouting at you. That's what I'm doing right now, and you can tell, right? It's very clear to you, as a person who knows what conversation is. You can probably identify when this stops being about I'm saying something to you and I'm just doing this for the sake of my own sanity.
So while she's yelling, I imagine somewhat hysterically.
Yeah.
Count Ronald has turned towards Zaidomir and quietly just said, like, please leave the room and close the door.
What?
Yeah. All right. And I think Sir Zaidomir is going to be like, okay, your time's up. Let's go.
No, let her stay.
Oh, and he's
she needs to get this out, apparently.
You hurt him. Get out of here, you lug. Out! Learn to accept orders when they're given.
He ignores you and, like, salutes Count Ronald Swan and says, as you wish. I'll be, and he returns to post outside the door, right?
Sweet.
I'm going to wait for you to run out of steam. Basically,
that happens. It starts dying down.
No, I feel like probably
there's a round two. There's an aftershock.
Yeah. No, I feel like there's some indication of time passing, like maybe the light coming through the window, and we slowly see it moving, and then it gets farther and farther and farther along, and then finally you're just like completely out of steam.
Yep, that's absolutely what it is.
I have not yet decided what will happen to Zaidomir, but I assure you that he is no longer under your command. Either he will be executed or he will be maintained as my personal bodyguard, but never again will he lead an order of knights.
So I think when we see the time passing thing and we cut to you talking, when you're talking, Mason is sitting on a chair they've pulled up next to your bed and just like seems to be exhausted. So they're like sitting, resting there, like their elbows resting on their legs, being like the last remnants of the last fumes emanating from them. But yeah, you keep saying what you're saying.
Mason, you are completely undisciplined. You claim to be the legacy of the old masters, but it's clear that you've never completed your training. If you wish to continue at this court, my court, if you want to stay within the spheres of influence you have become accustomed to,
May I interrupt you?
Yes.
Mason is so mentally taxed at this point that when you say those exact words, like it is clear that you never finished your training, Mason does something they don't want to, and they audibly sob. because that is
efficiency.
completely hitting the nail on the head of everything that they hate about themselves is that. So yeah, that's a and then they just like start basically softly crying.
Of my rule demands better of you, the best of you. You walk a line towards darkness. Your reckless addiction to these terrible magics, the division of loyalty you inspire in those around you. Whatever esoteric plots you hatch when you think I'm not looking. This must end. The angst of a child and the terror of a student who has lost their master. The recklessness of someone with nothing to lose and the vagrancy of the homeless. You are not that person anymore. You want kings and counselors to listen to you? Bring me a teacher to teach you. Because talking is easy, Mason. Being listened to is harder.
So you say these things, and Mason just keeps sobbing quietly. And then once they get themselves under control, they look up at you, and there's like you can see like a kind of tiredness in their eyes, but there's also like a subtle hint of resentment to what you've been saying, as they say that is not for you to decide. It never will be for you to decide. I don't want you to listen to me. You want the privilege of my counsel. I came out of nowhere when we met, and I can return to nowhere just as easily. My work can go on with or without you. I am here because you fascinate me, and I consider both you and Aurelia as a friend. But I will not let you have any unjust hand in matters of which you cannot know. You have no right to speak to me of my master. Don't do so again. I will not bring you someone to teach me. I will not do anything for you that is of my craft unless I explicitly choose to. But you are not wrong when you say that my training is incomplete, and it is for that reason that I restrain myself. I understand and accept that you lying there hateful and in pain must speak whatever ails you, even if those words are untrue. But my discipline is not lax. My discipline is iron. My discipline is wrought iron, more tempered than any sword, and it is for that reason that I can master these things and no one else can. I am burdened by my responsibility to my order, even if there are no longer any left.
So
you are right,
Swan
of course.
Looks down at his fingers and says, we all have to believe some lies, I suppose. Whatever you feel is necessary to convolute yourself towards gaining teaching, you tell yourself at night. But you will be taught.
I am being taught every day, but you cannot know that. For you live an innocent life, even as you scurry among traitors and cowards.
I feel like Swan just holds up the burned right hand that has the key of Abadar burned into it, and the rest of his arm is burned by Mason's spellfire, and it's just like, yes, an innocent life, free of pain.
Don't speak of pain, you know nothing. Don't speak of burdens, for you know nothing. You cannot know. You live in an idyllic world, Swan. A world where you can point to things you don't understand and call them evil. But that is not the true world. That is not the world that my kind live and die and suffer to protect. We live, we die, and we suffer to protect the true world. The world that exists here and between all others. I appreciate what you want from me, but you confuse that with what I need. I don't need your advice. I am here to give you mine. I don't need your help unless I ask for it. I am the last master, and even though I'm unworthy of that title, I will become worthy of it. In that aspect, you are true. Your words are true. You do not speak false. even if your words are born of ignorance. I will endeavor to become even greater than I am. I will endeavor to step out of the shadow of my master and to maybe ascend to where I am worthy of carrying the responsibility that has been so ruthlessly thrust upon me. But I will do so at my pace.
You're wrong.
I thank
Mason.
you.
You are entirely wrong. You continue to believe that this is solely about you. The legacy of your master, all of the masters, the name of sorcerers, you have become widely known for these things. And if you act in this way, where you believe that it's all about you and not the legacy of those who have brought you to this point, your reckless and childish actions continue to endanger all of them.
You don't understand. It is all I ever do is act for their legacy, because I can't do anything else. None of this is for me. All I do is for me, is for their legacy, is for the lessons they taught, and for the safety of the world. I'm caught in the middle, Swan.
Live with whatever lies you need. But I somehow doubt that an ancient line of masters burned me in the middle of a tavern and set fire to a wooden building in a major city. This is the reckless and endangering act of a child.
Your words are born of ignorance, but it's okay, because you cannot know, for I have not told you. Oh, gods, I wish I had. Part of me wish I had. But I'm scared. Many things scare me.
Until you see with eyes unclouded by both hate and terror, you will be unable to function as a sorcerer. At least not one that doesn't get burned in the middle of a town square. It is for your own good that you must seek a master.
I shake my head at you. You want to know something?
No. Leave me, Mason.
I don't know what I expected. There is a truth to this world you don't understand. I hope, for your own sake, that you have learned not to play with fire. If I ever tell you that I need someone again, that you step in my way, you will get burned again.
Were you not listening, Mason? I told you earlier, talking is easy. Being listened to is harder.
No,
until you can learn.
You need to be the one who understands here. I don't care if you listen. That fire does not care if you listen. If you step against me, Swan, I will step to you. And that fire will not bend to your silver tongue. That fire bends to the iron will of me, Mason, apprentice to Harkon many shapes, and no one else. So, for your own sake, and for the sake of the fate, and I say fate with like vitriol on my lips, but for the sake of the fate that you hopefully embody, you will not ever deign to threaten one whom I call friend again.
Is this a test?
No, because Swan has already dismissed her and is now like waiting for her to leave, and it's just not listening in general.
Fair enough. Okay.
Yep. So up we stand, and I think like the conversation peters to an end, and then we
stand. I'd probably stay in my hospital bed.
Yeah, you probably moving probably hurts. Talking probably hurts. Yeah. So yeah. I think I stay a short while and then I stand up and leave. And yeah, I definitely take like his words to heart to a certain extent, right? Like because what he's saying is not wrong. I need to get better, but he's wrong about most of the other things.
Yeah.
So I go and find Krushenko.
Yes, and we're gonna spend our couple months doing some trainings here. You learning etiquette, right?
Yeah, I want him to teach me etiquette. That is
Alright.
that is my gesture to Swan. That is the when all the hatred have like when all the hatred has spilled forth and all I'm left with is emptiness. The one thing that is inside of me, once I have that like exhausted, I have raged out for half a day now moment, is a little bit like the little pang of guilt at seeing Swan bedridden, even though I know he jumped through that fire. I know he caused it himself. There is that moment of like, I could have killed you, and I feel guilty about it. So I do the thing that he has asked of me. I go to Krushenko and I learn.
Yes. So Krushenko is going to try to spend a month teaching you. Krushenko, of course, doesn't have instructor, but he does have etiquette. So he's going to try to teach you etiquette the best way he can. So we're going to need you, since we're spending a month of this, and we already did the math, it's 3 tests worth of time taking place. So
I would like to help him do this.
Yeah.
One, by finding an appropriate tome, so we have some written instructions for him to go by,
advantage.
and one. The second thing I would like to do is I basically want to be an observant student, right? Because I am way smarter than he is, so me chiming in and helping will hopefully add to his efforts.
Yeah. I don't think you need to make a link test to find a book. I would just assume between your wises and your research that you could just grab one in the.
It's pretty well established that I have a good amount of literature at my fingertips.
Exactly. So I'm just gonna give that to you. So we're looking 4 dice, right? 3 plus 1.
If he had plus 1 for my help.
Oh, so 5. Okay.
Well, actually, no, plus 2 for my help because my will is 7.
Oh shit, that's right. Okay. So helping gives you 2 dice. Let's see. So that's 6 dice. Greater than 4. We're looking for an obstacle of 2. 2 successes.
There we go.
Just got it.
So that's 1 test. Then he needs to make 2 more.
Yep. Same thing. Got it. Oh, that's
sweet.
Okay.
So that is all I do for. Well, that's not all I do, but that is all I spend my time practicing for that month.
So does this look more like Krushenko's a pretty bad teacher. It's kind of, it's more, I think we see the montage of you learning this looks more like Krushenko is giving you like the bare minimum for you to teach yourself, essentially.
That makes sense to me.
He can answer questions that you come up with based on the theoreticals and practice that you have. But really it's, I think he's kind of surprised. Here's what I want to know. Krushenko probably thinks he's a really good teacher, but really the truth is, it's just that you're an extraordinarily good student. So I think he's very proud of himself by the end of it, thinking that he just taught you from nothing.
Yep.
And he's very proud of himself, even though it was more you.
Yep. Because I kind of like Krushenko, even though I think he's allowed, but I also think that men like him has a place in the world. And I like his son. I will let him live with his ignorance. I will have your blissful ignorance, and I treat him as I would treat a teacher in a lesser arts, right? Like the art of etiquette, the art of talking to kings is something for lesser creatures, but it is ultimately something that I am appreciative of anyway.
Yeah. Cool. So you walk out of this with you opened etiquette, right?
Yeah, I opened etiquette.
Cool. That's pretty good. You got a while to go though, but
that's a good line, AP.
AP, have your blissful ignorance: the art of Mason's self-deception, a novel by Count Swan. Okay. So, so a month goes by. You're finally healed, right, AP?
Yep.
Yeah.
So halfway through the month, you get your heal goes. It's reduced to 1 die from 2 dice down, and then another 15 days, and your 1 die disappears. You paid off your health debt, as I like to call it, and you're
now. Do we have to pay off our real debt, our actual monetary debt?
Yeah, but then we have our resources tests to do.
I need to ask you something, AP, by the way, because it will give me incredible satisfaction as a little jab back at you. What's your etiquette?
2.
Okay, mine's 3. I just learned it.
I mean, as soon as I get a monthly test, it'll be 3 as well.
Sure. Enjoy that thought. But
I mean,
Meh,
I
meh.
was born to the etiquette. You came to it.
I was molded by it.
I was molded
is
by
this-
my noble privilege.
Is this also the first month of your initiative being
Which
live?
particular initiative? I feel like I have a lot of them.
Sorry.
The Avengers initiative?
The economics, the economic stimulus package for
Yeah.
Bravo.
Symposium? Yeah, sure.
This is the first month that it's open, right?
Yes.
So before you do a resources test, because I feel like this might be linked to your resources test, I feel like we probably should have a administration role or something that represents the management of that fund and how it's working economically.
Okay.
Interesting.
So I think
Is that something Swan is doing?
Well, I think this is something that's going on as a whole, and this would represent anything coming up in the month in terms of like, hey, like we need to like here's two choices. What do we put our money in? Hey, here's the other problem. Hey, we have to hire people for this. Hey, and this just represents all of that kind of rolled into the large management sim, right? Abstraction layer instead of getting into the nitty gritty program management layer, right? Is that unless you want to like do that, like we could talk about accounting and all the different books, but I think it's just a higher bureaucracies or administration test.
He's healing. He can only do higher level stuff anyway.
Because I imagine you have other managers below you. Like the directors of finance from the church are like part of this too, right? So like that's all the micro stuff is handled. This is more just the macro test for the overall health of the fund and what's going on. So let's see here. This would be an administration test, I think.
Yep. Sounds like
let me
it.
just find the right obstacle.
It's gonna be pretty high.
I wouldn't say that. Administration. The skill of running a business or organization. The skill is primarily used to recover tax resources. Wait. An obtena's giant trading concern.
Mm-hmm.
Does that sound about right?
Yeah.
Is that what you're doing? I don't feel like that's what you're doing.
I mean, we'll get back.
You're
to
not running the East India Trade Company. Let's be honest. This is like
you are doing macroeconomic stuff for Brevoy.
I do feel like large guild at Ob 9 would be appropriate.
Remember, Brevoy is like the size of Normandy.
I think Ob 9 is pretty apt. Let me just look at administration for small trade. It's not a small trading concern. You're kind of taking. This is getting rolled out through all of Brevoy, right? Not just the capital.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why. Okay. Yep. Of course, though, you'll have help on this test.
All right. How much help?
So I think in terms of the church backing you, it's weird because that high is so high before. So high.
Probably like a treasurer, a master of scrolls, keeping tabs on everything, a master of accounts.
Aurelius, I would assume, is getting involved.
Probably Aurelius.
So, at least for. I'm also going to give you a die for advantageous of supplies because you have access to records and stuff from the church and everything, right? Of where all this money is going because they keep meticulous records. So that's 5 dice.
I want to fork the following things: accounting.
Yep.
Haggling.
Yeah.
Noble wise.
Yeah. How does haggling factor in?
I assume that there's a lot of haggling, contracting going on, making deals.
Subcontracting.
Yeah, but is it you doing the haggling though? Because you're
I mean, I feel like there's definitely negotiation guidelines going down. Like, it's probably not a society where it's lowest bid wins. You know what I mean? Like, we're probably like looking over stuff and being like, no, send it back to them.
Exactly. Like it's not necessarily as much RFPs as it is nepotism. Like
it's a monarchy. Let's be honest.
Right. Yeah. It's you're not rating contracts based on their merit so much as rating contracts plus how much you actually like these people. So
this house is stable.
It's more of an art than an algorithm. Oops,
I want to say noble wise, but not lord wise for this specific reason. I intentionally brought several nobles in as like factors, merchant factors to act as proxies.
Yep.
Supplier wise,
Yep.
merchant wise,
For sure.
and logistics.
Oh yeah. If any, no, I'm thinking this actually might actually have been logistics instead.
I mean, it's going to be logistics specifically is about moving military men for a set amount of time.
I feel like you made the right call using administration. This is basically the church's problem, right? But we're just calling on Swan to see how it goes.
Yeah.
3, 4, 5, 6 plus 5 is 11 helping dice.
It's a lot of helping dice.
Yeah, but the ob is pretty bad.
Yep.
What's 11 dice versus?
We believe
15 versus 9, so that's not very good.
No, but maybe you will. Maybe it'll go fine, and maybe there will be a
You have
consequence.
Pennywise and such for rerolling failures.
That
What's the
only
failure?
works for-
Look at that, though.
Wow.
Crushed.
That doesn't matter. That doesn't matter at all.
Nice. So the damn thing actually works for an entire month.
So the damn thing, yeah, it is working. So what do we see first? Is it like, what do you focus on first?
Sorry, this is administration.
Remember what we said earlier about AP being good at role-playing games? Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Incontrovertible evidence. Rolling 10 successes on, 15 dice?
Yeah.
Yep.
So this is the
4
equivalent.
sixes.
So this is just like, once again, to recall everything that your stimulus package is kind of helping with the country. You're looking at.
I mean, this
schools,
is
infrastructure.
buying, right? But none of that is ready to be built yet. This is like moving material into place and getting people hyped up. Like, this is getting work bosses to be like, all right, you homeless vagrants, we got a job for you. We need you to start digging ditches, basically.
Okay, yeah, this is getting the thing off the ground.
This is
preliminary stuff, right? You're like, we need to build a school over there, so let's get a contract going with the quarry so we can get some damn stone going.
Yeah.
This is probably a massive upswing in like low-level economic growth because all these people who are waiting for work suddenly find themselves with a job that they're going to have for years.
Yeah.
If this keeps working, so yeah. But this is good, right?
I don't know that I'm going to have to roll this every month.
I don't know either. It probably, like, there was what we talked about. There was risk of complications if you mess something up.
I feel like we sent an arrow, and that arrow is headed in the right direction.
So here's what I'm saying. This is my intention. This is my intention as a GM for establishing a test like this. Until circumstances change, we're letting this ride. That it's going to be working. Okay? So a good twist to some things is that there is trouble going on with your... Like a new problem has arisen that is influencing the administration, then you have to deal with that, and then make another administration test later on, right? Like
a faction in the church.
That's how I see this working. Is that once you have, like, it's any other test, let it ride. Okay.
Yeah, it's a good idea. It's a good call.
Cool. And that's a routine.
Yep.
Yeah. Yep.
Too many helping dice, man.
I mean, my administration is low enough that I can take routine tests.
Yeah, that's fine.
So I will.
Dope.
I absolutely will.
All right.
And now let's look at our lifestyles.
Yep.
Actual resource tests.
I believe Mason was going to come to me asking for more money for less problems.
Oh yeah, I am going to once we're approaching the end of the month. I'll be over. Like, I have been visiting you like a couple of times over the course of the month, making sure the healing is coming along. Having less angry conversations.
I feel like those conversations routinely have Zytomir in the room.
Yeah, makes sense to me. You get the sense that, like, over the course of the month, that Mason has been paying attention, right? Like, they're not just like blowing you off. They're doing something.
Well, Daniel, show me.
Show me the money. All right. Well, I will show you how well I've mastered etiquette by asking you to pay my taxes.
I want to hear how this goes. Is it literally you just walk in, you're like, pay my taxes?
No, it is Mason making a circus out of it. To make Mason like walking in astride, like proper pose, proper poise, head high, walking through the door in the garments of your house, right, as you instructed them to wear in public, coming in, doing like a curtsy, like overly elaborate, not at all a real curtsy, but it's still there, right? It's flawless, but it's not one you would see like people do, and then be like, Count Swan, I need money for my taxes. Help.
All right. Oh man, I want that difficult task, but that's a big risk.
I see you still need to rest. It's fine. I will take the key to the vault of your bank if that's all.
That's absolutely not going to happen. He gets out of bed, and it's just like,
are you okay? Can you walk now?
Yeah, I mean, this is at the end of the month, right?
Yeah, I'm Mason is saying that as you're getting out of bed, like, oh, are you okay? Right, like double checking that you're not.
No, I'm not okay. I was hoping the queen would stop by at some point, but it's
Didn't
time.
you break it off?
I feel like Swan doesn't answer that.
I thought you had made the right decision.
Swan definitely doesn't answer that, except maybe to like clench his fist.
That's good.
All right. Do you want to help me make a 5 dice resources test? I'm sorry. 5 cash die for an ob-10 difficult.
Yeah,
this is gonna be a mess.
I will chime in with my Swan pattern, like acolyte level knowledge of finance, and I will bring some money from some championship race ponies.
All right, so Swan is gonna try to generate 5 cash die by offering a new thing called microloans to low-level workers and merchants to be like, hey, look at all this money you guys are getting paid to build roads and stuff. What if you had a little bit more money and you like set up your own subcontracting jobs, right? What if you were the boss?
And everyone's like starts screaming and burying their heads, like, oh.
Yeah, the inverted triangle method.
I mean, it's literally Swan attempting trickle-down economics. He's like, open an account with us. You've got all this extra money. You know, no one's going to rob it out of our banks. We literally have paladins up in this shit who will slice people down.
All the, like, thousands and thousands of serfs who are, like, indentured servants to some kind of lord thinks it's a trick question and you're trying to get them in jail. No, I could never. I'm not the boss. He's the boss.
So I have 11 dice versus an ob-10. All right. Well, I think I'll throw a persona in here.
Yeah.
My last persona.
The last persona.
My persona.
I want to hear the cover of that song.
Of course, that's a fail.
It's obviously based on The Last Unicorn.
Wow.
Faded.
Shit. I might not even have to use my special power. I don't have to use my special power. I can save it for later in the session.
Nice.
Dude. Well done.
That's a huge roll. That's an amazing roll.
Those are some. Look at this, guys. 10.
That was crucial.
10. Not. Oh my God. 10 dice on.
Now I just need 2 challenging successes.
Whew.
And I could
Nice
get
stuff.
7 resources and bump myself up to 12 dice. Yeah.
Yeah, I will take those. How many did you just generate?
I feel like I'm not going to give you all of them.
Give me all of them.
Certainly, I feel like you've earned yourself 2 dice.
How dare you?
But the important thing is I'm accounting your taxes to help lower your difficulty.
I actually appreciate that.
You're
all
like, you are the money lender in the Jesus parables.
I am.
And Jesus at the same time.
I don't make any hiding of that. So it's a ob-2 to maintain your personal finances.
Sounds right.
Yeah, because you're not a single resident anymore.
So my lifestyle has gone down because remember last time we talked about this, I disagreed with Eric's assessment of my lifestyle. So I said I'm gonna try and bring it down then, because that's not how Mason lives. So I am being less elaborate about everything except when I'm outside.
Yeah, I'm just gonna crush this roll.
I also think that's your fault, AP. So
I'm
Right,
going to accounting the shit out of Mason's taxes, and I'm going to fork in peasant-wise, administration, haggling, merchant-wise. I think that's about it.
Sweet.
4. All right, 7 dice versus Ob 1. Please don't fail.
It'd be really funny if this fails.
It would
Oh,
be
it's green.
So
Look at
it
that.
is green. All right.
All right.
Look at that.
I want to take that routine test.
You're my accountant, dude. That's awesome.
Yeah, I've already, like, you come in asking for money and I have to do the money, and then you're like, now we need to pay my taxes, and I'm like, this is your forms filled out in triplicate. I've already done your taxes for you, Mason. It's not looking good for you this year. What happened to you over the last month?
I have a disproportionate amount of red and black silk expenses.
Well, you need to get back up to a better level of expenditure, Go out and eat nice places. You need to be seen as being...
Wait, are you complaining that my taxes are too low?
Yeah, exactly.
But
you
no.
need to be going out in those black silks and be seen eating nice foods and staying at nice places and being with nice people.
Give me more cash dice.
I just gave you a lot of money.
I said more.
Show me results,
what?
General.
Because we are living in a material world. I'm trying to dial it back a bit. I might have accidentally gotten a bit too comfortable with the lavishness of existing in your presence. And I fear that may have taken away from my focus on my studies. So that is why I've deliberately kept it low this month. I understand that through my actions, I shall try not to cast a negative aspersions on what it means to be associated with you, Ronald. All right, so what's my
Swat is looking at you really suspiciously, like, that almost sounded like you've been paying attention in etiquette class.
Sounds suspiciously.
Yeah, exactly.
so
keep
there's
up
that
the good. He slides over another cash die. Says, "Keep up the good."
Yes. Paolo, just go full Pavlov on me. I'm okay with this. Yeah. There we go.
All right. I need to pay my own taxes as well.
Yeah,
but you need to
Eric,
pay your taxes.
Yeah, yes. Eric, what's my op?
So I imagine it's
lowered
5?
by 1 because
it's lowered by 1, so it's probably 4, right?
Because it got administrated. 5 sounds really high. 5.
I think I complained about it being 3 last time.
I know you did. 5 is a fortress, man. There's no way Mason is paying for a fortress.
Oh, that's true. It's just paying for the tower.
3 is maintaining a family in a city or a small business. Mason's like a single person.
Yeah,
I subside on a daily.
Yeah, but that's
I subside on a daily allowance of 1 candle, a drink of water, and some food.
So you are. That's fair. That's also fair. You're living frugal in the noble court, and so I would imagine it actually would have been an ob 3 anyway. So it's but it's ob 2 because of your frugality and your efforts.
Nice.
So
all right, I'll take it. And so it's because of my frugality, it's lowered by 1, and then Swan did my taxes, which should also lower it by 1, so it should just be 1.
Yes.
All
Sorry.
right.
Yeah, I realized I just rolled them together, but I meant together -2 net. Sorry.
Thank you. Sweet. I'll take it. So let's see what happens. Did I miss? No, I hit. Okay,
green.
Good.
Nice. Perfect. So our taxes are fine. We'll see how Sulius is doing next week. But we're gonna go. Cool. We're at the top of the hour here, so we're gonna go to our first break, and then we're gonna come back and we're gonna play some more of Earning Crowns. So good work, everybody. Way to get all your taxes in order for this month.
My taxes aren't in order yet.
Oh, you haven't done? Wait. Oh, wait. That was just the cash dice.
Yep.
Oh shit! I'm so sorry. Yeah,
We can do it when we come back, buddy. Don't worry.
No, we're gonna do it now.
All right.
Let's get this out of the way.
What am I looking at here?
Boy, you are looking at you've been putting up a lot of money to promising a lot of people, right?
Yeah.
So we're
I've
looking
also
at
been paying out pretty solidly.
Maybe for once you can
Okay.
pay for a court, like a court.
I paid for court last time.
Oh, I didn't realize.
Yep. Counts.
Sorry, I
was
counts
an
court.
eight. Yeah.
so it's I was thinking it's either 7 or 8, and my gut wants to say it's 8.
I mean, 8 is accounts court, and I'm slowly assembling accounts court. I might be light on advisors, but I'm very heavy on military.
Yeah.
You have the best advisors, so don't worry.
Yeah. Let's say it's an 8. It's an 8er.
Can I force this to be a challenging test in some way? Probably not. It's not high enough for me to risk it.
You can make it a challenging test if it's so high that you could roll a less amount of dice than you have.
Nope.
All
We've had this discussion before. Statistically, the more dice I'm rolling, the better my reroll is because of reroll.
Yeah, because of the explodiness of fate.
So what I want to do is try to make like OB 16 tests with 15 dice. I definitely don't want to make OB 8 tests with 7 dice.
Well, you could still make it.
So I'm just gonna throw 11 dice at this.
You want help?
Do you? I mean, yes, but do you need to help me? Like,
Nope.
I didn't think so. You probably.
But if you want help, I will offer. This is a
challenging.
Yes.
Do you want
I
help
have
from anyone else?
7 million challenging tests.
I mean, I imagine like our reputations and our circles comes into play here. Like if you ever needed.
I don't feel like I super need the help, but
okay.
I will take it from Mason because I feel like it's probably teaching Mason lessons in economics.
Well, so that is a way of looking at it, but let's honor the fiction here. I am helping. That's what I'm doing.
What I'm saying is that you have credit available to you, I would imagine.
Right. I don't need to call on it yet. I'm gonna save that credit for when I need the big monies.
Right. Right.
I will accept help from Aurelius if he would offer it.
Sam.
The question I was going to ask you is, would you ask people for help, or would you take money from Krishenko's savings and loans?
I mean, Krishenko's savings and loan is my fun dice.
I know. So what I'm saying is, yes, but for what it's worth, the way you're taking money from the bank is legal. Like, would you manipulate the books in a way to give you extra?
Nope.
Okay.
Nope. It's totally against who he is.
I know. Well, that's what I'm saying. But would you rather look weak to the world stage? Right?
Eric, I don't know that you know this.
I'm not doing that right now, but that's definitely, I would imagine, something that could come up in the future.
Gold is the blood of Abadar. If you cook the books, you're giving him AIDS. That's not good stuff.
I'm good.
Embezzlement is Abadarian AIDS.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a good quote.
8 for 8.
8 for
and
8.
that's with just Mason's help, nobody else.
That's Pennywise, right? That let you do that?
Nope. I just faded.
So you're about
6s,
to.
though.
What? I do have 6s. Oh shit! I don't have 6s, huh?
No.
I'll.
Oh, you saw the ones, didn't you?
No, I didn't. The problem is that the last roll I made of like 12 dice is stuck. I'll send you a picture of it. It's super weird.
Fucking. Well, we're getting ready to go to break. You can just reload it. But
I'm definitely gonna Pennywise it, so it's definitely gonna be more than whatever that is, because I have a lot more.
Well, you
failures.
Pennywise and you got it right because you already rolled, and just for what it's worth. Okay. I mean, you don't want to. There's no flourish, right, to just paying your bills.
I mean, even if there was, I wouldn't care.
Yeah. So okay.
The embellishment are happy bureaucrats. That's what that is.
So yep, pay your bills. There. That's good work. Good work, everybody. I'm proud of you all.
We'll be back soon.
Yeah. So we're getting ready to go to our first break. We'll be back in 5 minutes, everybody. So see you on the other side.